まさか君が入れたお茶を飲める日が来るなんてね。
Same. The fact that we're both still alive is quite a surprise, really.
そんなに驚くほどのこと？私はただ、あなたが数秘配列のためにコアを提供してくれたことに感謝したいだけ。それより、どうしていつも私たちのことを知った風な
That's a
口ぶり
nice
なわけ？
mug. That's a nice
慣れ
peacock
慣れしい
too.
んじゃないかしら。
言っただろ。僕は人を見る目があるだけさ。でも君の言う通りだ。もう君たちのことを理解した気でいるのは良くないね。
え？
前回会った時と比べても君は随分と変わったように見える。
Yeah, because for those that don't know, obviously Wanderer knows who exactly Sunderland is because they used to work together and all that, but of course everyone's lost their memory of him. Apart from Dottore, which I'm kind of surprised how he kind of knew him, but then it kind of explained it when he went through the Tree of Sumeru. You know, he was able to unlock a couple of secrets that not everyone knew, basically. So, yeah, it's quite interesting how many fingers Dottore has in different places, really. That sounds wrong.
それ以前に会ったことなんてないでしょ？ふん。自分のコアに存在したエラーを受け入れて、いくつかの事実を見極めただけよ。あなたはどうなの？同じくある種の人形であるあなたの心にも、演算のエラーが生じるときは
You mean
あるのかし
emotions?
ら？
エラーどころの話じゃないよ。
詳しく聞かせてもらえるかしら？
そんな話をできるほど僕たちはまだ親しくない。
So you don't know them.
それも
please.
そうね。社交辞令で聞いてみただけよ。とにかく人形が心を探すときはきっと回り道をしてしまうものなんだわ。
True.
少なくとも私はそうだった。
君は自分を作った人といい関係を築けて
I'm
いたん
sorry
だね。
that you didn't either, mate.
そうね。彼は何度も私を助け導いてくれたわ。生きてる間も死んだ後も。
ならその点において僕と君は根本的に違う。
Just because there's a difference, that doesn't mean it should alter your life in one way, shape, or form. It's what they say about a lotus flower, basically. It grows up in a horrid environment like a swamp, but it can still bloom to be beautiful. It's what you do with your life that makes all the difference. Doesn't matter how you're brought up. You know.
そうだったの。謝るわ。人形という多少の共通点があるからってあなたのことを理解した気になるべきじゃなかった。
謝る必要はないさ。君の言葉を借りて言うと僕もかつてのエラーをすでに受け入れられているからね。ただ少し回り道をしすぎた。それを埋め合わせるにはもっと長い道のりを歩む必要があるだろう。
That really makes all the difference, really, at the end of the day. If you've done bad things, you know, you can redeem yourself. It just takes a little longer. Which is kind of hysterical as well, you know, like you could literally be kind your whole life and then you do one bad thing and then all of it is erased, you know? It's kind of funny how people look at things like that, you know? It's kind of like the Cain and Abel thing, basically. Cain murdered his brother Abel and, well, Abel basically became a very vengeful, Lucifer affected individual. And you know what the Lucifer effect is, I've gone over this already, but it's the same thing really, where Cain basically just was filled with hate for his brother because of the life that he stole from him, and sorry, no, Cain killed Abel, that's right, yeah, so Abel felt the revenge basically, and Cain basically changed his life around after all that because of all the damage he'd done to his brother and his mother and father basically by murdering their son. So he basically turned his life around and became a better person out of it. Just shows really the path people take cannot always be the most straight and narrow. There's always divergences towards it. It's quite upsetting really when you think about it.
そう。あなたの言葉を借りて言えば、踏み込んだ助言ができるほど、私たちは親しくないから。一言だけ。まあ、頑張って。
お互いにね。
いやー、珍しいこともあるもんだね。まさか君のお茶会に招待される日が来るなんて。
あなたがもう少しお茶会のマナーをわきまえていれば、
Tartaglia.
これまでにも何度か招待を検討していたかもしれないわね。
同感だ。
Etiquette coming from the
私たちと
Tsundere.
顔を合わせるたびに手合わせを申し込むのはやめたまえ。
Let's be fair, if he'd have gone through with his challenge on Clorinde, he'd be dead. I don't care what anyone says. If you challenge someone that has like a 60-0 dual win ratio, you're not winning. It's the same with Miyamoto Musashi. Miyamoto Musashi, if you don't know, he's like one of Japan's greatest all-time dueling experts. He once beat a man with a freaking boat oar. He beat a man senseless with an oar. An actual samurai sword specialist. He beat him with a oar. Do you know how, like, embarrassing that must be? To be beaten by a guy that smells like shit, came off of a boat like 30 or 40 minutes late, and then just takes the oar and beats the crap out of him with it. This is what Musashi does. He gets in your head. He makes you think that, you know, you're not even worth the combat, basically. He purposely doesn't shower so it gets in your nose and it bothers you. That's what he does. He rage baits his opponents, and that's what gets them so pissed off that they can't focus to win against their own opponents. So the fact that he was willing to do this with Clorinde was kind of like bonkers to me.
うちの兄貴や姉貴みたいなことを言うね。でもしょうがないだろう。昔
bloody
野外で
siblings do
師
you
匠の
have?
特訓を受けていた時には何も言われなかったんだから。
God, how many baby daddies does your bleeming fucking mother have? Like, Christ, that's got to be a lot of siblings.
まあいいわ。こうして集まれる機会もそう多くはないのだから、今は心からこの時を楽しみましょう。
I don't like the new design of this automaton. It feels
お
odd.
や彼女は君の新作かい？
I don't like it. Maybe if it was like more like, oh, it's gone. If it was more like Catherine, I would probably appreciate it more because, you know, we've got so many Catherines. It would have been nice to have like a similar version of that. But no, they just decided to do this new design. It was kind of strange. I would have liked it if they actually would have had Polonia, but like a more updated version to him, you know? More down to scale size, but no, they just went with this design. Kind of strange, really.
ファジオ。
Oh,
多機能
Fagio,
汎
that's
用
his
支
name.
援型自動マシナリーよ。
そうか。プロニアは
Okay.
本当にもう修理できないんだね。
気にしないで。私は
一度くらい戦ってみたかったな。
そう言うと思ったわ。
あのでかいのは見た目からして強そうだったけど、こっちは。
Don't be so sure about that. Just because they look frail and smaller doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
彼女が弱そうに見えるとでも言いたいのかしら。
Well, I'll say this, darling. I think I'd prefer to fight you rather than your automaton, that's for sure. Because I don't think you'd be able to last for too long.
そうじゃないよ。ただ、あの大きなプロンニアに比べると強そうに見えないってだけさ。
Look, let's just put this nail in the butt right here. No woman is beating a man. The same as no fucking female automaton is beating a male automaton. Polonia was built for strength, simple as that. This one is more built for, like, elemental prowess, basically. She's got, like, a decent array of freeze, icicle, lollipop dispenser, freaking... I don't know what the hell it is. I guess just like an icicle beam. that could be useful in a fight, I guess. I'm not saying that, you know, she can't be as weak or as strong as Polonia, but let's be fair. Polonia slaps. I don't care what anyone says. Polonia is the better of the two. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Are there cases where women have beaten a guy before? Yeah. But they have to be the peak of peak of peak to be able to do that. I remember this one story of this one lass who was picked up at a bar, and the guy who picked her up was a well-known serial killer, and he was actually going to kill her, basically. But she got the better hand of him and actually managed to get into the back of the truck after striking him in the face, and there she actually beat the living shit out of him and literally squeezed his balls so hard they popped. And I was like, good on you, like, fantastic. Because she was like one of America's most prolific boxing champions, and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist, something along those lines. The thing is, for a woman to actually be able to kind of compete with a man, it's just down to straight up human genetics and science, basically. Men are built stronger, faster, because they are the hunters. They go out and they collect the meat and they bring it back. It's been like this for eons. Men are not meant to show their feelings. Believe you me, I would like to be able to show my feelings, but let's be honest, the last woman I showed my feelings to, she just outright just did not see me the same way. And that's the thing that we learn as men, is to not show our feelings. We would like to, but we cannot. It's as simple as that, I'm afraid. And it's just sad that it has to be like that, I'm afraid. But yeah, anyway, I'm done with this silly rant. It's just, yeah.
プロンニアはもともと算術マシナリーなのよ。あの戦闘能力は演算能力に影響が及ばない範囲で追加したものなの。
But woman, if he's built for measurements and calculations, why have you got him out here fighting the likes of Riria? So, either you're bullshitting, or you are just straight up bullshitting. That fucker could easily stand and bang with Riria, no problem. So, you have to admit that he was more capable at combat than anything else, really.
でも、ファジオは複雑な術式を処理する必要がないわ。つまり、彼女の演算能力はすべて戦闘モジュールの処理に回せるということね。
Please. It's the same argument like with Sugar Ray Leonard versus, like, I don't know, like, I was about to say Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth's a baseball player. It's like if Sugar Ray Leonard went up against someone like, you know, I'm trying to think of someone who's not Muhammad Ali. Okay, Evander Holyfield. Yes, Evander Holyfield is the perfect boxer. I will give you this. There's nothing that Mike Tyson couldn't do against him. He even tried biting him. It didn't work. That's just how perfect of a boxer Evander Holyfield was. But if he was the same way, I think, as Sugar Ray Leonard, who, let's be frank, was one of the fastest boxers in history, I don't care what anyone says, Sugar Ray Leonard would win. Hands down. This is why Muhammad Ali was so successful, because he was flexible, he was fast, he was cocky, he was able to get his opponents to really push the envelope against him. That's because he got under their skin. If you can get under someone's skin, you've won half the battle already. That's why Muhammad Ali was so good, because he was very overconfident and he went in with that confidence and showed it through his technique and his speed, basically. This is why I'll always prefer builds of speed and precision over strength. But that's the thing with Polonia. If Polonia could get his hands on Fagio, it's over. But if Fagio can outmaneuver Polonia, then yeah, it's Fagio all the way. But it depends. Like, out of 1,000 simulations, it can either go one way or the other, basically. So we're never so sure how it could turn out, really. That's why I like fights, basically, because it can always turn out one way or the other.
じゃあ、プロニアより強いってことか？信じられないな。
Again, it doesn't matter when it comes to mechanical usages, basically. It's kind of the weapons that you have. Because Fagio does have weapons, whereas Polonia, we didn't really see much apart from a beam that I think he blasted back at Riria. You might need to, I might need to think about that again. But the fact that Polonia was going like toe to toe with Rerir, and also somewhat doing okay against the Doctor, even though he wasn't 100% combat capable. Whereas Vargio is technically built to be combat ready. I just think Polonia's more accessibly brilliant than Vargio because, you know, Polonia wasn't 100% combat capable, you know.
あら、そこまで疑うなら確かめてみる？
Yeah, let's do it.
先に言っておくけど、壊れても修理代は払わないからね。
And I won't pay for your hospital
私だっ
bills.
て治療費なんて払わないわよ。
やはりこうなってしまったか。
はんはんはん。
Combina's just nodding away. Oh, I wanted to see them fight. Oh, that would have been nice if we could have had a scene where they fight.
いいお茶会だね。こんなことならもっと前から参加しておくんだったよ。
Well, I guess it's time I clear up then.
じゃあまた。
そういえば以前あなたたちがスネージナヤに来た時はこんな風にきちんとおもてなしできなかったわね。
Oh, what gave that away then? Was it the fact that you're more tsundere?
そんなこと言わないでください、サンドローネさん。こうして座ってお話しすることはできませんでしたが、いつも美味しいお菓子を用意してくださったじゃないですか。
Correct me if I'm wrong, Japanese national speakers, if any of you watches me, probably don't, but it's a shame really, because I would like to know that I've got some Japanese watchers basically, because I love your culture, I love your people really. The bit where he said son, normally you would only say that it's gendered, correct? Can it only work if one gender says it to the same gender? Or can it work either way, basically? Because I know you'd say, like Linne-san or Lynette-chan. You would normally say chan over san. Or does it depend how close you are with a person? Because it doesn't really make much sense. Because I know it's a weird situation with Linny, because he calls Arlecchino Odo-san, because, you know, that's the title she inherited. You know, she took the title father, basically. So... is it just a weird, like, dynamic that they have, or is it kind of the norm, basically? Because I know you would always add san on the end of most of these cases, and I know you would only say someone's name if, like, you were, like, extremely close with them. I don't know, I just kind of want to know, like, the ins and outs of that, basically.
あの頃は忙しくしていたからごめんなさい。次にあなたたちが来る時はもっとちゃんともてなしてあげるわ。
It's the same with English people, I think. Like, you get with an awful lot of the ladies here, they'll always say, like, darling or sweetheart and all that. We're quite polite, you know, like, we'll ever say your name and then we'll add something on the end of it, like darling, sweetheart, or, you know, something like that. The women are much more friendly, if that makes more sense. You know, they're... Not the chaps aren't friendly, we just don't exude it through words, we exude it through actions. Like, you know, we tend to get a bit more huggy, or we're closer, or, you know, we laugh a little bit more. That's kind of how we show it, basically, as gents. I mean, I'm not saying we all do that, but it's kind of like the case with certain English people, basically, you know. And I think, like, with me, it's kind of the same with me. Like, when I'm speaking with a woman, I'll always call them, like, darling or sweetheart sometimes. It's not out of, like, you know, like, I'm trying to get closer to that person. It's just how it is, basically, you know. It's how I was brought up to, you know, always kind of speak in that manner, basically. Which is kind of funny, because when I hear myself talk, I honestly feel like I sound a bit too common. But then I hear people say that I actually sound quite posh, which is quite shocking, really, when I hear myself speak. I don't know, maybe it's certain things that I say, but I've never really been, like, one that's been brought up that way. I've always been brought up from, you know, kind of a background of, like, having nothing, having grown up with nothing, basically, and, you know, it's not that I haven't, like, you know, spent time away from my country. I love going away. You know, I get the opportunity to go to a country every so often I get, and I do it because I love the culture that comes with it, basically. But I still love my country above all else, really, as anyone should, from the land that they hail, basically, you know. I just wish more people had kind of a higher, fascination with England, really, because it is a beautiful country and it's my little island, We're a small country, but we're a great one. Yeah.
じゃあやっとあなたの作った機械で遊べるんですか？それとこれとは話が別よ。ボン。
実は
I love
お
Lynette.
父様からできるだけサンドローネ様の邪魔はしないようにと言われてるんです。
気
Aw.
にすることはないわ。これからはもっと気軽にアフタヌーンティーを楽しみに来なさい。
本当ですか？僕実はずっとあなたにペールスを見ていただきたくて、改良の方向性について
I'm sure
ご
she'd
相談したい
appreciate
と
that.
思っていたんです。
いいわよ。それこそ私の専門分野だもの。
Also, I've just noticed this with Fremonade. Is freckles are really, really good for like a game like this. Quite surprising, actually. I noticed there are some people that tend to get freckle tattoos. In that process, it sounds like a good idea, but trust me, like you're better off with it naturally, because when you get tattoos done of it, sometimes they just fade so quickly, or sometimes they just come out looking so horrible. Like you look like you have like whiteheads all over your face. Like, trust me, it is not worth it. So ladies, if you are trying to think of doing that for cosmetic, purposes, it's your body, do whatever you like with it, but just be warned, it's probably best not to get tattoos. And also, believe you me, getting them lasered will be the most painful experience you can get with something like that, because it's done in sessions. They don't just do it all in one with laser surgery. They literally, the way the ink works is that basically the laser pulls the ink from the second layer of your epidermis, and it is pulled through literally 2 layers of skin. That's how they remove it. They basically burn it, they break it up because it's stuck in the epidermis, which saves the body the time and effort to break it down for you, and then they just pull it out that way. Basically, it is extremely painful, so I suggest not doing that. Also, it's a face tattoo. What are you doing with a face tattoo? I feel like you should only get a face tattoo if you have quite enough experience with tattoos, or if you're a tattoo artist, or if you're securing your job, because believe you me, face tattoos will limit you when it comes to job searching, basically, because there is still a stigma behind it, basically, that people with face tattoos are a little bit more on the edgy side, which is kind of silly, I know, but you should really be careful with how and where you tattoo yourself, basically. Coming from an experienced person who has tattoos, you should know when and where to get tattooed, basically.
ありがとうございます。サンド
Yeah,
ローネ
like his
様。
freckles look
執
fantastic.
行官ってすごく大変なんですか？まあそうとも言えるわ。考慮すべきことが多いのよ。もっとも仕事における不愉快な出来事の多くは
I thought
同
it was just
僚
from,
が原
thought it
因
was
だ
just from
けど。
Colombina.
つまり他人との接し方が重要ということですか？
Her and
ええ、
Colombina are
その
really
点
like
において
the
は
gender bent
リネに
version
は
of
何の問
Carve
題も
and
なさそうね。
Alhaitham, aren't they? They really are.
そんなことはありません。買いかぶりすぎですよ。
あなた執行官になりたいの？いや、これは私が聞くべきことじゃないわね。忘れてちょうだい。
Just says harbingers can't
Sir.
be decent people.
僕にはまだ遠い話ですから、もっと後で考えても遅くないはずです。
I'd think about
リ
your
ネが
family
執
first,
行
mate.
官になったら私たちと一緒にいられる時間も減るの？
だとしたら僕とリネットも執行官にならなきゃいけないのかな。
二人とも後で考えようって言ったでしょ。それに、たとえどこへ行こうと、僕は二人を置いていったりしない。
You guys are better off
約
together
束するよ。
anyway.
時々あなたたちが本当に羨ましく感じるわ。
You shouldn't, dear. You've had your family with Ellen, and Polonia and all that. You've also got Colombina and other friends around you. You're good, don't worry.
お茶もお菓子も美味しいね。おもてなしに感謝するよ、サンドローネ。
気
The
に入っ
hell?
てもら
We're
え
not
たなら
sitting on
何
our
よりよ。
own table?
そうそう。アシュルの好きなお菓子も持ってきたのよ。ほら、あなたの好物でしょ。いい
I'm
子
gonna
いい子。
I'm
こ
gonna.
っちへいらっしゃい。
Okay, that's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if the cat just like jumps on her and just chooses her over Nefer any day. Oh,
あんたとなどくらい、そして非分の館とのつながりが今後の協力関係において役立つことを願うよ。
ええ、私もそう願って
well,
いるわ。
hello.
さあアシュル、食べてごらんなさい。
Takes one to know one, I guess. One cold, unfeeling creature to another. Well, at least from looks, but yeah. Cats are manipulative. They get what they want in one way, shape, or form. Why on earth would you give the cat a freaking earpiece as well? I mean, I know it's not an actual cat. Like, I know it's like a type of, like, god, but and all that, but still, you know.
それから前に尋ねた件だけど、
柔らかくて素敵な肉球ね。
サンドローネ、まさかあんたお茶会を口実に猫を触りに来ただけじゃないだろうね。
I shit you not. Someone is going to take that text and take that so out of context. And tell me you use this tea party as a pretext to come here and do it on my pussy cat. Pussy cat.
そんなことないわよ。非分の館との交流だって忘れていないわ。
おい
Oh.
でアシュル。
Oh, I was hoping the cat would be like, no, I'm good here. Oh, she's so hurt. Bless her.
さてと、具体的に交流について話し合おうか。
Go on then.
少し猫を触ったからってなんだって言うの？
Me?
動物は普通機械が苦手なのよ。せっかく数比配列の研究中に仲良くなれたんだから、ちょっとぐらい撫でたっていいでしょ。
Columbine is thinking like, it should have been me! Ah! It should have been me that she wanted to give belly rubs to! It's not fair!
わかったわかった。行きなアシュル。どうせあんたが誰にすり寄ろうと、私には止められないんだ。
That just sounds so wrong. You can and can't rub up against. That's horrible. He goes to
ア
Jehovah.
シュルを撫でるのもいいけど、本題を忘れないでおくれよ。
だから忘れて
Oh,
ない
she
って
went
言
back
って
to
るじゃ
Sandor.
ない。
Very seriously.
This is very serious. I must put on my war face. There. Now show me yours. Needs work.